Okay, it's Ricky the Cut Creator Burton here with our host, Zach. We call him Goku. Uh, Today, we're going to just discuss a few things, bust a few myths, expose a few lies, and allow the truth to be told. That's what we're going to do today. So, Zach, if you want to get started, we could get started, baby.
Perfect. All right. How important is exercise to you being a shot caller in prison?
Exercise is very important because you want to be able to defend yourself. One, um, you don't want to leave any room for error, especially in places like that. You don't want to leave room for people to think they can test you, because it's a lot of ego in there. It's a lot of machismo, as they like to say. So you got to make sure you're ready at all times. And a lot of things in there are always physical, usually ends physical. So what you want to make sure is that you're ready physically, and you do that through physical exercise. And it's actually necessary because even the most out of shape person in there is in shape, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
When you say the most out of shape person is in shape, what exactly are you saying? Like, okay, you came from an athlete background because you was in basketball and you was the D1, right?
Yeah.
So you're a D1 college player. So going from D1 to prison, how much physicality was that of a difference for you?
It was a big difference as far as the intensity of the workouts, the level of workouts, the amount of workouts, and mentally more so than anything else. It was like you had to take on a different mindset, mandatory. You had to take on basically an animalistic mindset, especially in the prisons that I was in. So, like, I was basically in some of the most dangerous prisons in the United States of America, and we could Google that. I was in Hazleton, I was in Lee County, I was in Macquarie, I was in Coleman, and they had me in Yazoo, Mississippi in the hole for a long time. I was in Atlanta, hole for a long time, Oklahoma, hole for a long time.
So, all right, so going from D1 to prison and then the physicality is much different. You told me that they actually have like basketball games inside of the prisons, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of like the same. Is it the same level of basketball like the NBA, or is it like a higher level? How do you feel?
I'm not going to say it's the same level as the NBA. It's not the same level as the NBA. I would never disrespect the NBA like that. But I will say it's high level basketball, definitely. High level basketball. I say mid major college basketball, like definitely. Definitely. And there are guys in there who make you look at them and think like, whoa, what is he doing here? He's supposed to be on TV. We're supposed to be watching him on TV, and there are a lot of guys in there like that. So, the level of basketball is very high. And honestly, if you're not a person that can really play, you're not really going to make any of the teams in there. You'll be in the crowd watching like the rest of the prison.
Okay. So, okay, prison basketball. All right. As opposed to actually like the teams itself. When you're on the teams, is it like this? Uh, I wanna say it like this. When you're on a team in prison basketball, is it like TV where they actually hitting each other, or is it like real basketball?
Oh, you mean like in the movies?
Yeah, like movies.
No, it's not like that. It's real basketball.
It's
It's
real.
talent. Like it's legit talent.
Okay.
Talent. Like I've even been in prisons where they'll invite like the top uh, police athletic league team. So it'll be a bunch of police and firefighters, like dudes who played in Division 1, dudes who still play out there right now, 7-footers. Like they come with all kind of, and we whoop them. We whoop them. Like they don't even almost. I've never had a game against them where they even almost won, and that's the truth.
All right. Okay. So you played against prison guards and stuff like that. That's cool.
Not prison guards,
No.
not the guards from inside the prison. Police from the street.
Okay. Got you. Got you.
I said police and firemen.
My bad. My bad. Sorry. So they actually in shape and shit like that. I understand. That's a different level of shape for them, for physicality. Yeah, that's true. All right. Um, and you was like in leagues inside of the prison. So
No, I was in the top league inside of the prison.
my mistake. Top league.
There are leagues, but I never played in anyone but the top league in the prison.
How serious is the games inside of this league?
Very serious. They be on the ticket, like how out here you'll have people betting, and they bet with Vegas, FanDuel, and all that type of stuff. They do that in there too, and our games be on the ticket, and it's very serious. So like there are a lot of times, especially in the big games, playoff time, championship time, stuff like that. In the gym, there's going to be a lot of knives, especially with the guys who bet a lot of money on these games. So there's going to be a lot of knives in the stands all around the gym, all over the gym. It's going to be knives everywhere. Everybody going to have a knife because nobody want to lose that amount of money. But somebody got to lose. Somebody got to lose.
Anything crazy ever happen?
Yeah, you get crazy stuff that happen, but that's prison, So like I've had crazy stuff happen, not to me, but I've been in situations where after the game it got a little hot, it got a little hot, a little heated. I've been in situations where like in Hazleton. In Hazleton what they do is the gym is enclosed. So what they'll do is they'll get everybody in the gym, all the spectators, everybody from each team, coaches, referees, people doing the shot clock and all that, scoreboard and all that. And then they'll leave and lock the door. So now,
the guards?
Yeah. So now it's all of us in there. All of us, all the knives, ain't no getting out until they open that door. You feel me? So if anything jumps off, you just in there. So I had one time where we were playing against the Washington, D.C. team. And, Washington, D.C. has a big presence in the federal penitentiary. They're deep because they don't have a state jail or prison. So no matter what they do, no matter what their crime is, it all goes to the federal prison. They all go to the federal prison. So
really,
it's a lot. It's majority of D.C. in every prison. Majority D.C.
I never
from Washington, D.C. So they're a district, the District of Columbia.
Yeah.
So they're not a state, they're a district. So they don't have a state prison.
Yo.
So what it is we were playing against the DC team, and one of their better players. I was new to the compound too. I was only there for about maybe 3 weeks at the most. So I ended up on a team that made it to the chip. So now we're playing is the best of 7, just like best of 5. Excuse me, and then it's the best of 5. So we were playing in the best of 5, and this kid from DC, he kept like setting screens on me, but like very aggressively, like where he was like throwing his bow into my chest. So I didn't say anything the first time, Second time he did it again, I kind of ran through it because it's nothing weak or soft about me. But I understand that what he was doing wasn't a basketball play, right? So I told him after the second time, like, you do that again, I'm gonna knock you out. So I guess he thought I was playing, So a couple of plays later, I come around, he does it. So I hit him, boom, and he dropped, So when he get up, all of DC that was in the crowd stood up. So now they're making their way to the crowd, to the court, excuse me. And what had happened was, just my luck, I was in a spot prior with one of their shot callers, who I didn't know at the time, and he didn't know I was there either. He just happened to come watch the game that day, and I was playing. So he like, oh, Big New York is here, because that's what he used to call me in the other spot, Big New York. So when they stood up and everybody pulled their knives out, he stood up too. And he was basically like, basically like nobody's gonna touch Slim because they use the word Slim a lot in DC. So Slim, nobody's gonna touch Slim. If you want to see Slim, you can go with Slim in the bathroom and you can do whatever with him because Slim is not soft. Slim will go with you in the bathroom, and this is what he's telling them. So what it was is he had pulled out this big old knife, and he gave it to me right in front of everybody. And he was like, whoever trying to go in the bathroom with Slim could go in the bathroom with Slim right now. So I'm standing there not saying nothing. All of this happened so quickly. I'm like, bathroom, knife, what? But at the same time, I'm laughing and I can make light of it now. I was ready. I didn't want to go to that bathroom, but I would have went to the bathroom. And what it was is after that, everything kind of got calmed down because his voice, he had a presence in that car. He had a presence, a very strong presence. So once they saw that me and him had a relationship, it kind of died down and got to the point where they were basically telling the kid that I knocked out, like, if you're trying to see Slim, go see him right now in the bathroom. And he was like, nah, he ducked rat. He was like, nah, which I knew he was gonna do. One-on-one, he didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? With knives or without the knives, that he didn't want to do. I would wash them up. That's a fact.
Okay.
So yeah, stuff like that happened, and just imagine if he didn't know me. So now we're all in there, locked in, no COs, like a million knives. There would have been a million bodies in there.
Shit.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Nas on like another episode. That's
Yeah.
That's a whole nother day, man. That's crazy in itself. Damn. That story was mind blowing. All right, so with exercise, let's go back to exercise again. How do you incorporate your exercise day normally?
Well, typically my day would start at like 5:30 in the morning. So I never, my whole 10-year bit, I never ate breakfast. So my breakfast is my workout: pull-ups, push-ups, dips, burpees, jumping around, like whatever I had to do, that's what I did. So I would start working out. They would open the doors 5:30 in the morning every morning. By about 5:40, 5:45, I'm out. By about 5:50, 5:55, I start my workout. And you could say I'm working out basically from 6 o'clock all the way to probably like 10:30. And you got your workout card, so it's a group of us, monsters. We all monsters, always the top of the line on whatever yard I'm on. And that could be Google. You could Google that. You could ask anybody you want to ask. Whatever yard I was on, I was top of the line, top tier when it came to fitness. Factual. Sports too. I won a championship on every yard I was on, in football and basketball. Check the records. But what as far as the working out, my day would start like 5:30. I work out all the way to about 10:30, and because now you got to come back and you got to get ready for child lunch, right? So you can either make lunch depending on what they have in the chow hall, because there's a menu up every week. There's a menu. You can see what they have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday through Friday. So I'll go to chow depending on what they have in the mess hall. If they don't have something that I want, I'll just cook, because I kept a locker full of food. Thanks to my mother. Thank you to my mother. God bless her heart. But then after that, I'll go eat, and then we'll probably work out again in the afternoon. So depending on the day, we would have either do our cardio in the morning, but intense cardio. So when I say cardio, we're not just fucking jogging and doing that goofy bullshit. We doing burpees, crawl outs, we're pushing up. And even though with our burpees and our crawl outs, we're doing hundreds and hundreds of push-ups, that has nothing to do with the amount of push-ups we're going to do in the afternoon. Two separate things. So there's no, oh man, we did push-ups this morning, and none of that bitch shit. None of that. Ain't none of that. We getting ready for war. We're staying ready for war, I should say. And life in general. So But as far as my workout, that's what it would be. About 3 to 4 hours in the morning, and then 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon. The rest of the day, chill. Read, learn, plan. Because I used to do a lot of planning. I planned basically every day in there for when I would be released, so we can make the things that we're making happen.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So because they say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So
All right. All right. So all your workouts is basically calisthenics because there's no weights there.
yeah, there was I was in all level sevens, which is the highest level. So they didn't have weights there because I'm pretty sure people would have hurt each other real bad if there were weights there. Can you imagine uh, being on the bench pressing, and somebody doesn't like you, so they decide to take a 45-pound plate to your head? Can you imagine what that would look like? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, no weights, no weights.
All right. What do y'all do for like heavier weights? Like, cause all right, your body weight is gonna be but so much.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, then what?
Either you increase your reps. That's why we used to do so many reps a day. But like you said, after a while, you get but so big. You can put on but so much muscle. So now you're gonna need weight to take your hypertrophy past the plateau stage. Because once you plateau, it's hard to get past that, to get over the hump. You have to actually now know what you're doing.
Right.
So you have dudes in there that do build water bags and sandbags, because you got sand on the yard, because there's usually a volleyball court, a volleyball field, and it's on sand like how it is at the beach. So they'll go out there and steal sand and be sneaking it inside, and then build their weights like that. Or the easier way is water bags.
Mm.
You just make water bags and put them at the end of two sticks. And dudes used to do that. I never did that though, because you can't be sure that it's the same amount of weight in each water bag, even if it's off by a few little milliliters or whatever. That's too much to me, in my mind. That's when we're dealing with proportion and symmetry and stuff like that.
Shit. All right, so damn man, y'all got pull-up bars in there?
Some of the spots have pull-up bars, but a lot of the spots didn't really want us working out. They didn't want us working out because the COs don't work out. They're not in shape. So why would you want all of us in shape and them not in shape? And then one day we just might, or they, because I'm not in there anymore, but they just might wake up and realize, like, we don't got to listen to these guys. We can just hold him down, take his keys, open the gate, and leave.
That's true.
It's only 200 of them. It's 2,000 of us. Imagine if one day they woke up and said, like, we don't got to stay here anymore. Because if they woke up and said that, they really don't have to. They can leave. It's only 100 and something guards to 2,000 inmates. Do the math.
Shit.
But it's a scare tactic. You know how it is with the government in the United States of America. This fear of everything: politics, religion, police, this, that, has been instilled in all of us since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, this is the type of. So when you're dealing with stuff like that, it's kind of hard for a lot of people, especially if you're not strong mentally or strong-minded, to follow suit. It's hard for them to break the cycle, or to even realize that these are lies that are being told, trickery being ran on us. We have to eventually wake up, wake up. And some of us do, most of us don't. A lot of people spend their whole lives in the dark, not knowing. What type of life is that? You got to go seek the knowledge, and then you got to be man and woman enough to, when you find some knowledge that makes sense to you, stand on it. No matter if a million other people are standing on something else, you got to be man or woman enough to actually say, well, I have a brain and I can actually trust my own brain. So that's what I'm going to do. I believe this right here. This is what it is, because this has the most truth in it as opposed to everything else I'm hearing.
Mm. Okay. So damn, breaking down a lot of shit right now. Hold on, man. Hold on. All right. So
It's deep, baby.
hold up. All right. Guards don't work out. Physical training is serious. Your celly. How important is your celly to you when it comes down to like your mental well-being when you're inside?
Oh, that's very important. That your celly is like your best friend. Yeah, your celly is like your best friend. Because think about it. That's who I wake up with. Not in the same bed, of course, but in the same room. That's who you go to bed. And then when they lock them doors, it's you and your celly in there. You know, if y'all are cellies long enough, y'all build a bond that becomes so strong. It's like a band of brothers. There's nothing else. You become brothers. Like we're doing this time together. We're facing all these battles together. We're being locked down by the prison together. You know, when you get a disheartening letter in the mail, and you need to get it out by venting and talk. When them doors lock at night, who you think you talking to? Your celly. You know, y'all build a bond that becomes closer and closer. Your celly is very important when it comes to your mental and physical health. Mental and physical health, because 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna end up building a bond so tight that no matter what goes down, y'all gonna go through it together. Y'all gonna stick together. You know, like I even had a situation where I just got to Macquarie. This is in Kentucky, Pine Knot, Kentucky. So I had only been there like once again the same type of story. I'd only been there like a week. A week. I'd only been in the room with my celly for like 4 days. So we had spoken, but we hadn't really, you know,
Opened up and
yeah,
shit.
not like that. We hadn't opened up too much yet. So I'm in the gym and I'm playing at the time when all the best ballers are playing, the best ballers in the institution. So we have something that's called A League and B League. A League is the equivalent of the NBA. B League is the equivalent of like NCAA, McDonald's All American, yeah, mixed, you know what I mean? Like that. So I'm in there with the A Leaguers, and it's already passed through the grapevine that I'm one of the better players in the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBOP. So I get there, and the way it goes is when you get to a compound, if the word is out that you're a baller, everybody's waiting to see you ball. Everybody, the whole compound. So your first time, even if it's free rec, that gym is gonna be packed, like your Kobe or something. So and that's how it was. So we balling, and I'm the so-called best player on the yard. His name was Pat. He was from Memphis. He was nice. I ain't even gonna lie. He was one of the nice. He was like Trey Young.
Okay.
He was like a Trey Young. You know what I mean? Like he was one of the first guys I saw in there shooting from half court all the time, and would talk shit to the other team's coach and tell him, man, you better tell your man to guard me because I'm about to shoot from right here and shoot from right there, make it. You know what I mean? So he's on the opposite team. We don't know each other. Pap talks a lot of shit. Mind you, only been there a couple of days, like a week. So he's talking shit. So you know we from New York. So I'm talking back. And he's scoring and I'm scoring and he's scoring. So now it got to the point where it was about to be point game. I think game was 16. So it was something like 13 to 14 or 14 to 14, something like that. But I know we went up. I put us up. So now we got point game. So it's 15 to 14. So now he got the ball. He starts talking. He's like, man, you come guard me. I said, nah, bring it to the rim. When you get to the rim, I'm going to punch that shit. That's what I told him, and I meant it. So he came to the rim. And when he came to the rim, I didn't jump. I just flinched. And he threw it up, and it went over the backboard. You You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, scared ass nigga. And I ran down the court back on defense because now my team is about to bring it down, right? And they're about to give it to me, and he know that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm about to get the ball and I'm about to score. He already know that. So he runs down before the ball comes down, and he gets in my face, and he was like, "You soft ass nigga." And I don't know what happened. It was just like a reaction. Right as soon as the words left his mouth, I hit him, boom, with my left hand and knocked him out cold. I'm talking about cold. He was on the floor cold. Like that. So when that happened, it just so happened there was a lot of Tennessee dudes in the gym. So they all stood up. So now, but when they stood up, they started coming towards me fast too. And you could see them pulling out knives and shit. So I'm like, oh shit. But I stood there, so I'm standing there like whatever. So out of nowhere, my celly runs out the stands because he was in the gym too. Because I know at that time all he wanted to do was see me play, because he hadn't seen me yet, and he was asking me in a little by little in the cell at night, like, "Oh, so you play ball? We can't wait to see you play." Everybody say they play ball. We had a lot of people say they could play ball and come here and they ain't that good. You know what I mean? He was talking like that. So he was in the gym. So fast forward, when they all start coming towards me, what he did was he came out of nowhere and stood in front of me with his knife in his hand, which shocked me because we didn't even know each other like that. You know what I mean? So I didn't expect him to do that. And if he hadn't have done that night, I wouldn't have been upset because I didn't feel like we had built a rapport where he had to do that.
That was the first time your cellmate ever did anything like that to you?
No. I was cool with a couple of my cellmates. You know what I mean? Like if you my cellmate, we gonna rock for each other, or else you're not gonna be my cellmate. You out of it.
Word.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So he stood in front of me, and he had been on the compound, so everybody knew him. And just my blessing, which I didn't know at the time, he was a shot caller for the South Car, and the South Car was the biggest car in the yard. Mm. So I didn't even know my celly was. I used to always see him reading the Bible. So I'm like, I didn't even know. He pulled out the knife, and he like, "Man, ain't none of y'all about to do nothing to my celly. If y'all want to fight him one-on-one, y'all can. If y'all want to use a knife, I give my knife, y'all can use the knife." Same kind of story. That's how it goes in there. Everything is knife play. Mm. So nobody didn't really want to fight. I asked him, like, what y'all trying to do? Because now he did that, and I see that there's a knife there, and I see how they stopped in their tracks with him. Because come to find out, my celly don't play. He only like 5'8". He don't play, boy. That boy like a little honey badger. I ain't lying to you. He was a shot caller for a reason. Facts. But anyway, so when he did that situation ultimately made me and him like this to this day. To this day, right now. I will always love him. Just off of that. I don't care what he do. Just off of that, way back then. Just off of that, he did not have to do that at all. So him doing that, we got so close. And then that was kind of like the situation in Hazleton. So when he came and he did that, and they pulled out the knives and the dudes, I started talking mega shit. We from New York. So I'm like, what's up? What's up, nigga? What you trying to do? Once I seen that the knives was, that he had the knife and all that. So, and once again, once I seen the way the guys stopped in their tracks at him, I said, yeah, I'm gonna use this in my advantage. What's up? What's up? What's up, pussy? They ain't never bother me again. And then, the funny thing is, we ended up going to the hole, me and Pat. It's crazy. We ended up going to the hole, and we both ended up sticking to our word that nothing happened. Because he kept it G. Pat kept it all the way G. I'm going to say Pat kept it all the way G. Pat say nothing ain't happened. Mm-hmm. Every time they asked him what happened, he said ain't nothing happened. And just our luck, the cameras ain't catch it. Because there was cameras in the gym, but I guess they wasn't on. that day, so they say. You know what I mean? So they gave us the opportunity to, when we were let out, they let us out a week later on the same day. This how prison plays games with you. Suppose we wanted to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because in my mindset, I'm thinking like, all right, when we get out, I'm gonna have to see him. But even though I was ready for that, like that wasn't a problem. Seeing anybody, that's never a problem for me. But what it was is like, what was scary about that situation at first is that I knew he couldn't handle me. So I knew I was gonna wash him. So I just knew like, all right, I'm gonna have to stab this nigga up and all that type of stuff. You know, and I was coming towards, I had about 4 years left at the time. So I wanted to like get away from like, the violence and the stabbings and the stuff like that. So what it was is I knew when we got out, it was gonna have to, remember I told you everything is political.
Yeah.
So our cars were gonna have to meet. So the Tennessee car, not just Memphis, the whole Tennessee car was gonna have to meet on the yard with the New York car. So the head of the Tennessee car was named Smiley. Vicious motherfucker. Vicious motherfucker. Tattoos everywhere, all over his face, all over his head, all everywhere. Scary looking motherfucker. I ain't even gonna lie. So, but me and Smiley had kind of a rapport, because the wolves smell wolves. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? The lions, because even if we don't talk, you can smell it. Okay, he a lion. You know what I mean? Gotta watch him. Mm. So they were all waiting when we came out. I got my bag, my laundry stuff. Pat got his, and basically Smiley asked Pat, "What you trying to do?" So I stopped them when they asked him that, and I'm like, "Listen, we could do whatever. We could go in the cell, because we was in front of the cell we were supposed to go in. That's how it happened, because we was in the same unit. So I'm like, we could go in the cell and do whatever." And I looked him in his eyes. I said, "But make sure you make the right decision, because once we go in that cell, ain't nobody gonna save you, man. Nobody. There's gonna be nobody to save you, and I'm not going in there to lose. So come on." And I walked in the cell. Yeah, because I'm not playing. Let's get this cracking. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like, but he didn't come in. He didn't want to come in. Because I told him out there that I basically told him, like, don't let them hype you up, because they're not going in the cell. You are. They're not going in the cell. You are. What they're going to do is stand in front of the door while I stab the fuck out of you. That's what I told him. And that he must have thought about it, because I was dead serious. I was dead serious. You know, like, there's no room for games or slip-ups or playing. So that's why, like, every situation that gets to that level is serious, and you have to address it as such. I do.
So were you working out harder, like, every year? Or was it like you all right, when you're coming out, I don't know, because it's like, I feel like when you're coming out, you feel like you have like a like a time period, and people are watching you and shit, because niggas want to make names for themselves and shit like that. So was it like
a time period for what?
Because they know when you coming out, so it's like, okay, nigga, I can make.
What you mean, on the yard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but all your people's gonna meet you.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not coming out by myself. When I come out, all my people gonna be right there. As soon as I step through that gate, they waiting for me.
No, I mean when you're coming out, like you're getting released from prison itself.
Okay, what?
Like people know your time period. They know when you're getting out. Somebody wants to make a name for themselves. Was that in your mind at all? Were you even thinking like that?
No. I'm too powerful, man. I'm a vessel for God. Like, ain't nothing happening to me, man.
Right.
Nothing. Like, God got his cloak all around me, man. You don't see all the stuff I've been in? Ain't nothing happened to me, man. Yeah. I done been in little ass cells with 8 people in there. All of us got knives and everybody stabbing each other, and I've never been stabbed. Mm. That's that cloak, man. Like, I don't worry about stuff like that. No, nah. I'm doing God's work, man. I got my blinders on, man. I'm not worried about stuff like that.
All right. So you just chilling the whole time?
Not chilling,
but
chilling. I
You're
was
not
building
chilling,
my future the
you're
whole
in
time.
shape the whole time, but you're not 100% worried about shit. You don't really have to worry about anybody.
No, I wasn't worried. Never. There was never a time in my 10 years where I was worried. I was always aware and cautious. But worried, no. Never, ever. Not one time. And that's one of the things that scared me the most about myself. That being in there with all those killers and vicious people didn't bother me. And how easy it was for me to rise to the top of the hierarchy in there. That scared me more than anything else.
I think that's perfect right there, man.
Okay, there y'all have it, man. There y'all have it. The Power of Prison podcast. One of the best new up and coming podcasts in the world. We were just testing it out today. We were just having a little bit of fun. But every week we're going to be having content. Every week we're going to be uploading shorts. Every week we're going to be busting myths.
Every day we're going to be uploading shorts.
Every day we're going to be uploading shorts. Every week we're going to be exposing the lies and telling the truth. The power of prison. People don't understand how many success stories come from inside those treacherous, vicious, cold walls. They don't. There are so many success stories that nobody talks about, but guess where they're going to talk about them at? The power of prison. You're going to meet so many formerly incarcerated millionaires and billionaires right here on this podcast. That I can promise you. And with that, I'm going to say we out, y'all. Power to the people.
Yeah.